Good evening, everyone. Hi, my name is Joanne Cox. I'm the administrator, one of the founders of the Shirley Jackson Awards, and we're going to get started.
The children assembled first. We forgot what day it was. The official of the lottery used to stand just food. The morning of June 27th was clear and sunny, with the fresh warmth of a full summer day. The flowers were blossoming profusely.
Afternoon tea with a wary eye to the sugar bowl. A trip to the dentist, where more than just a tooth is lost. A search for your fiancé on your wedding day, and every day, without end. Her setting's familiar, her situation's normal, uneasy, anxious, paranoid, terrifying. We return to Shirley Jackson's work again and again. Her straightforward prose invites us to the table, comforts us, like the dinner she made for her family and friends, until we become outsiders. Her humor and wit lures us across, quietly, the fine line between mental illness and the supernatural. Forces us to face the truth about ourselves and our fears. We return to Shirley Jackson's work again and again. The world is stacked against us. Sinister forces are at work around us. We return to Shirley Jackson's work again and again.
And then the fun.
Welcome to the Shirley Jackson Awards ceremony. The Shirley Jackson Awards were established in 2007 with the permission of the Jackson estate to recognize the legacy of the author of such classic works as The Haunting of Hill House, We Have Always Lived in a Castle, and one of the most famous short stories in the English language, The Lottery. In keeping with this legacy, the awards honor outstanding achievement in the literature of horror, psychological suspense, and the dark fantastic. Each year, a jury of professional writers, editors, critics, and academics selects both nominees and winners for the best work published in the preceding calendar year in 6 categories: novel, novella, novelette, short story, single author collection, and anthology. We are also deeply grateful to Shirley Jackson's family for their continued confidence and support. The work of Shirley Jackson continues to be a major influence on writers of whatever kind of fiction, from the most traditional genre offering to the most innovative literature works. We are pleased to honor her work by honoring the work of extraordinary writers on this year's ballot. Thank you for joining us, and we hope you enjoy the ceremony.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Brett Cox, and I want to welcome all of you to this year's Shirley Jackson Award ceremony. I do want to establish up front that I normally do not sound like this, but it is better than, well, you should have heard me 2 days ago, except you would not have been able to because I could not utter a sound. So I'll ask you to bear with me on that. And I'll try to be as efficient as possible. But as I said, I'm Brett Cox. I'm one of the co-founders of the Shirley Jackson Awards and currently serve on the awards board of advisors. I want to welcome all of you here today, both people here just as in the audience and also our nominees who are present. I want to also say right up front, so you can start taking the next year to wrap your head around this fact. The next year will mark the 20th anniversary of the Shirley Jackson Awards. Which topples my mind, but there you go. As always, we have a long list of people to thank. I'll try to be as efficient as possible. First and foremost, as indicated in the video, we want to thank the family of Shirley Jackson and the Shirley Jackson estate. Ever since we started the award, they have been nothing but supportive to us, and we deeply appreciate that. Readercon is our home, and we are very happy to be back here again. There's a long list of thank yous on the backs of your programs, including many from within the publishing committee, a community publishing committee. That sounds suspicious. So again, publishing community. We want to acknowledge our board of advisors, and in particular, and I do think it's worth mentioning the names of this year's jurors: Michael Arnson, Craig Lawrence Kidney, Sadie Hartman, Jamal Hodge, Terry Lee Ralph, and Molly Tanzer. Those of us who have served on this jury know what work is involved, and we are in awe of what we are in awe of what the jurors have managed to do. I also want to acknowledge, as always, my fellow founders of the award, Joanne Cox and John Langan and Sarah Langan and Paul Djeli, and for the two people who haven't heard me say this over the years, my annual reminder that Joanne and I are not related, and John Langan and Sarah Langan are not related. However, for the upcoming 20th anniversary, we are finally at the legal deadline by which Paul Tremblay has to change his name. So, all future books by Paul G. Tremblay will be by either Paul G. Langan or Paul G. Cox. None of this hyphenated stuff. It's got to choose a team. And a particular thing he was always to Joanne, who is the engine who drives these awards. And it is impossible to overstate everything that she does to make this happen every year. Pardon me again. I also want to ask that everybody in the room who is among this year's nominees, I'd like to ask you to stand. And then I'd like to ask everybody in the room who is a former nominee or winner of the Shirley Jackson Awards to also please stand. And you're once again making all of us look very good. And so without further ado, and before my voice goes completely, I want to introduce our hosts for this evening. We're always very lucky, and I think it is a testimony to the ongoing influence of Shirley Jackson's work. And every year when we ask the Readercon guests of honor if they will make some brief comments about Shirley Jackson's work, and then hand out our awards for us, the answer is always, of course, let me have it. So I'm very pleased to bring to the stage this year's Readercon guests of honor, Djeli Clark and Gerrold.
Oh, I do? Yes. Okay, hello everyone. Thank you guys for having me here. It's great to be here at this award ceremony. I'm going down here. It's the first time I'm up here, and it's interesting that they said, you know, we always happily jump at this. There was a little pushing and process to get us to do this. You don't have anybody else? Nobody else wants to do it? Okay, so we'll definitely do it. So, hello and greetings to everyone. I'm going to talk a bit more about being here at Readercon, period, and Damon is going to talk a bit more about Shirley Jackson and Mercy. Yeah, that's what we agreed. Or we can do a who's on first thing while we're here, but it's a bit much. And so, thank you everyone for having me here again. It's great to be the guest of honor. As those of you know, I was the guest of honor last year. But I had to leave early, unfortunately, because of passing in my family, but I had to leave at the last minute. And the folks at Readercon were so gracious that they invited me again for a second year, right? And so it's great to be here. My first Readercon was actually 2015, and it was actually perhaps my first con. And I think back about it, it was the first time I'd actually gone to a con. And I always remember that one, especially because the writer Daniel Jose Older was here, and for some reason people thought I was Daniel Jose Older. I have no idea why. If anybody's seen Daniel Jose Older, we're not even good cousins. But people mistook me for that. I accepted it a few times because at the time I was barely published and Daniel was a more well-established author, so he got me free drinks. So I accepted that. But what struck me at that very first Readercon was that they put me on panels. And at this time, I had a short story or two written. This was long before, you know, people probably know who I was. Like, what's that guy up there? And I was on panels with Tim Powers and Catherine Valente. And I remember sitting there, I was like, why am I on this panel? With these really big names. It was something that I came to know about Readercon, that that's just what they do, right? They will take people who are sometimes really non-established writers, have had a random story here or two, and they put you on stage with these big folks, and they take your opinion seriously. You get to talk about these things. And so I have a lot of great memories of Readercon. Pilfering snacks from the con suite, which I did that first time. I still did it, obviously. Going to dinner at one with Scott Edelman. Finding out to change hotels one time. I came to this hotel and I realized, oh, it's at the other hotel. So that was fun. getting interviewed for Locust by Early Song, going to Meet the Pros where they had those stickers. Now it's speed dating. That's interesting. Watching Ryder Max Gladstone cut it up at a dance party. That was always an interesting time. And so I like that Readercon offers this community for writers, readers, and everyone in between, right? To come here and to break down ideas of hierarchy and who's published more, who's this and that, but to actually allow this almost egalitarian system where people can meet and talk about the things they love. And one of the features of that con, of course, is the Shirley Jackson Awards. Established for outstanding achievement in the literature, as I said, of psychological suspense, horror, and dark fantastic. That, much like Shirley Jackson's work, examined the darkness that lurks beneath the everyday world. So I'm excited to be here today to be a part of this wonderful award ceremonies, to congratulate all of the nominees and those who will be fortunate enough to walk off with the grand prize today of a car. No, you're not going to get a car. And with that said, I've been over here.
Thank you. Man, you are so well dressed.
Yeah,
You did that to put me to shame, didn't you?
I did. Like, we agreed to wear like nothing, just t-shirts or something.
No,
but
but wear your jeans and t-shirt, it'll be fine, right? Set me up. All right. Let me talk to you about Shirley Jackson. I discovered Shirley Jackson, I must have been about 15 or 16, and I was going to the used bookstore and buying paperbacks there because they were cheaper. I could buy a paperback book for 10 cents, right? And I was discovering some great writers. And Richard Matheson, great horror writer. And Robert Bloch, terrifying. And then there was Shirley Jackson. I thought, well, there's no vampires or zombies in here. You know? And then I read the lottery. I gotta tell you, I have not bought a lottery ticket ever since. See, then I believe there was a collection. There was a story called One Ordinary Day with Peanuts, and I'm pretty sure that was hers. That one, I gave up eating peanuts. And, I'll say that one. Then there was the book, The Haunting. I thought, that's a really scary book. And Robert Wise made this incredible movie, The Haunting of Hill House. I said, oh, all right, well, I'll go see that. And here is something on the other side is banging that damn door, and it's bulging, and it's banging, and it's bulging. I almost ran from the theater. That was scary. To this day, I never found out what was on the other side of that door, and I don't want to know. So how many of you have seen the movie The Haunting? All right, if you haven't seen it, take my word for it. Don't rent it. Don't go where anyone's showing it. Just don't. Because if you like sleeping, you don't watch that movie. Then there was a story that Shirley Jackson wrote, and I don't remember the name of it. Maybe one of you. And this woman has a little boy who comes home every day from school and tells her about the awful things that Charles did.
Charles.
Every day. And then she goes to a parent-teacher conference and looks around and wonders who's the parent of this little boy, Charles, and the teacher says, we don't have a Charles in our class. You know that almost stopped me from adopting my son? Fortunately, I did, and that worked out. But I have always held Shirley Jackson as being at the top of the mountain of writers. Absolutely. What she did with a single sentence, what she did with her prose, what she did with her short stories, the lasting effect that she has had on all of us, but particularly me, because I didn't get much sleep. I hold her in the highest regard, and it is one of my great regrets that I never got a chance to meet her, because I would have just fallen down in awe of her ability to just tell a great story. And with that, I'm done.
Thank you. I was going to say that when I was a kid, I was Charles. My parents got that. Yep. Anyway. Okay, I guess we're ready.
Are we hand out
We're
some
ready.
awards?
It's time to hand out some awards. Everybody ready to hand out some awards? So, before we just hand them out, we have to read the nominees out. we have the envelopes here. Would you like to hold the envelopes? Would you like to read?
Well, we'll do one. Why don't you read a list of nominees, and I'll read a list of nominees, and I'll
Okay, that's great. So, the nominees in the short fiction category for the 2025 Shirley Jackson Awards are Bitter Skin by Karen Warren, Lapse by Kirsty Logan, Mother's Mother's Daughter by Audrey Joe, Room 24 by Caroline Kepnes, and Silver Boots by Donna Lynch. And the award goes to
The first one.
I will be Van White.
Is that it? Yeah, sure, Chris. I can't beat that. All right.
All right. Down.
This is not like the Oscars. We don't
Yeah,
have
it's
a
not
teleprompter.
that fancy. I'll teleprompter.
Bear with us.
Oh, you guys glued it together. That makes it more interesting. Everyone talk amongst yourself. I'll give you a topic. The peanut is neither a pea or a nut. Discuss. And the winner is
Bitter Skin by Karen Warren.
As you probably know, I'm not Karen Warren. She's Australian and she's currently in, I think, either Spain or Italy on vacation, but she's not here. But she wrote, "I'm so grateful to the Shirley Jackson Award Committee and to the judges for their tireless work in keeping these awards going. Thank you to Titan for publishing this fascinating anthology and to Ellen Detlow for your brilliance, and I told them to keep them to that. And for your brilliance in coming up with anthology concepts and even more brilliance in editing our stories. Thank you."
All right, my turn to read. Well, the nominees for the 2025 Shirley Jackson Awards in the category of the single author collection, Clairviolence, Tales of Terror and Torment by Mo Moshati. I apologize if I get any of the names wrong. I'm doing my best here. Good and Evil and Other Stories by Samantha Schweblin, translated by Megan McDowell. Issues with Authority by Nadia Bulkin. Came from Ghoulish Books, I like that. Moon Songs, The Selected Stories of Carol Emschwiller by Carol Emschwiller. And finally, Portal Mania Stories by Debbie Urbanski. All right, you got the envelope?
we have the envelope. See, I didn't open it, guys.
You let go. I have to let go of the hand and I fall over.
And the winner is, who read it last time?
I read it.
Okay, that's good. And the winner is Issues with Authority by Nadia Bulkin.
Me again. Nadia unfortunately could not be with us this evening, but she sends the following remarks. And Nadia, if you're watching, I'm sorry, you got me on an off night. First of all, please excuse my absence from the ceremony. Second, thank you so much for this award. Like many of you in this room, Shirley Jackson's work has had an irreplaceable influence on not only my writing, but my conception of what horror can be. I don't think I would have had the courage to write the anti-heroines featured in this book, if not for Eleanor, Maricat, and most of all, Natalie. I want to thank my editor at Ghoulish, Max Booth III, for suggesting I put this book together, and to my editors, Jess Landry and Sam Cowan, who originally made it possible to publish the second and third stories in this collection. Long live the small press, and long live the weird.
All right. Oh, I get the envelope. And you get the read.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. The nominees in the Edited Anthology category for the 2025 Shirley Jackson Awards are Night and Day, edited by Ellen Datlow. Roots of My Fears, edited by Gemma Amor. Silk and Sinew, a collection of folk horror from the Asian diaspora, edited by Christy Park Kolsky. Unquiet Guess, edited by Dan Coxon. Werewolf Short Stories, edited by Jillian Whitaker, Catherine Taylor, and Nick Wells. And the award goes to...
You know, Connie Willis used to do a thing. She'd have the award envelope and she'd talk for 5 minutes while all the award nominees squirmed in their chairs. I'm not Connie Willis. But, you know, I could tell you a story. Oh, I know something you don't know. We have a tie. Night and Day, edited by Ellen Datlow. And Unquiet Guess, edited by Dan Coxon.
Okay, so...
I mean, not shivering commences. I wasn't gonna write something, but I realized it's bad luck if I don't, so I had to write something. Thank you so much to Joe Monty, and thank you for his great concept. He came up with the flip book, which I thought was brilliant. Thank you to all the contributors, of course, and thank you to the judges. I thank you, and I love Shirley Jackson. I'm so happy to have won this. Thank you.
Hold on.
Do I read this one? Right, I read it, okay. Where's we at?
Hold on, yep. Hold on, we got video from Dan. Hold on,
Oh,
hold on.
we're getting more. We're getting more.
We have more from Dan.
Yes.
Hello. So much this award, and I'm so sorry I can't be there. It's not the best time for traveling, unfortunately. But I mean, this has been an incredible project to work on from the get-go. Thank you to everyone for getting the books, especially Nathan and Harriet. We have bring this all together, kind of in record time, and it's just an incredibly beautiful book. And thank you, of course, to all of the authors who wrote stories for me. So to Grady Hendricks, Kirsty Logan, Renessa Nkoji, Ali Wills, Clayton Chapman, Paula Matthew Holmes, Claire Fuller, Will McLean, and Alison Moore. And of course, particularly good luck to Kirsty Logan as well with her short story nomination. You know, I've worked on a lot of anthologies already, and this one was a really special one. So thank you guys for being part of it.
All right, we are up to novella. Are you reading? I'm reading this, and you're opening the envelope. All right. The Cold House. The nominees for Best Novella are The Cold House by A.G. Slatter, The Death of Mountains by Jordan Corella, Du Mort by Michelle Tang, The Glass Garden by Jessica Leveille, Psychopomp and Circumstance. What great titles! Psychopomp and Circumstance by Eden Royce.
And the winner is, the award goes to The Death of Mountains by Jordan Corella.
I'm here to be your stunt Jordan for the evening. I'm Cecilia Tan, but Jordan's my brother from another mother, so I agreed to read a speech from him. Thank you so much. I'm not gonna try to do an impression of Jordan, by the way. I was going to, and I'm like, no, let's take this seriously. Thank you so much. As always, we begin with thanks, and I have so much to be thankful for. So much gratitude that I myself am thankful for it. Thank you, of course, to my publisher, Steve Berman of Lafayette Press, who believed that The Death of Mountains could be book-shaped. Many thanks to Ink Spiral Design for the phenomenal cover and interior work on the book. I can't move on without thanking the friends who listen to me talk nonstop about mountains and deaths and birds, alive and dead. Josh, Eric, Maria, Steve, CJ, Martin, Mike, and Matt. To my family, I love you, thank you, thank you. To my 7-year-old nephew, Rad, you'll be old enough to read the book one day, I promise. Rad, I promise we adults will work harder to make a world where every child gets to grow up, where you get to read all the books you want, where you get to have cats of your own and get to ride your bike on the street like you want to, where you can be safe and loved, where you can go where you want to be, where you want without fear, where you get to have ice cream for dinner and see the tippy top of every mountain, even Plundered Mountain. She would love that, Rad. She would love that. Thank you. Thank you.
We are up to novelette.
Wait, you want to read this one? Or should I? Give me a look.
I'll read this, and we can read the other one together at the last
All
one.
right, then.
Okay. So, the nominees in the novelette category for the 2025 Shirley Jackson Awards are The Confirmed Bachelors by Stephen Volk, Emily by Vanessa Santos, Letter Slot by Owen King, The Malay Illusion by Sarah Pinksor, and The Severity of Things by Mo Mashati.
Can I tell another Connie Willis story? And the winner, and the award goes to Emily by Vanessa Santos.
I've always felt, as a reader, as I'm sure you all have, that some writers have a special power, a way to see into your soul that is shocking as much as it is one of the most validating and life-affirming experiences you can have. That a stranger can string words together and somehow verbalize things that are deeply personal and private to you and your soul, things you maybe didn't know how to verbalize yourself. It's a truly magical, sacred feeling to be seen like that, to be held in your words. Shirley Jackson has always been one of those writers for me, who make you feel seen and alive and held. It is the greatest honor to have something I wrote nominated for this particular award, one that recognizes and celebrates the legacy of someone I firmly believe to be one of the greatest writers of the Academy we will ever have. I'm beyond grateful to everyone who got me here. To everyone at Denny Books, it's such an honor and a joy to get to work with you. To Sarah and Adams for believing in me and my little stories. To my partner Lloyd, without whom none of this would be possible. And to the many, many writers who have inspired me and given me permission to be human. But most of all, I am grateful to the readers, to everyone who read any of my stories, not just Emily, and found something there, no matter how small. Even if what you found was a creepy child who gave you nightmares. Every time I get a message from you, I am reminded of the meaning behind all of this, and I hope you know I am holding your hand through the pages. I don't think we've ever been here more and more, and I couldn't be more grateful to be in such great company as we celebrate the immense power of words. Thank you.
We are here, finally, for the big one. Best novel.
All right. You want me to read them? All right. The best novel. The contenders are, the nominees are, Bat Eater and Other Names for Cora Zane by Kylie Lee Baker. How to Fake a Haunting by Krista Carmen. The Lamb by Lucy Rose. Moonflow by Bitter Corella. Old Soul by Susan Barker. And Witchcraft for Wayward Girls by Grady Hendrix.
And the final award goes to, okay, I can get, of course I can get the last one out here. Bat Eater and Other Names for Corazine by Tyler.
It's going to articulate succinctly how much it means to me that my book about COVID-19 and hate crimes against Asian Americans has not only been so well received by so many empathetic readers, but also honored in this way. Shirley Jackson's work is so foundational to the horror genre and has inspired me since I was a child, so to be in any way connected to her legacy is beyond my wildest dreams. Thank you so much to the writers, editors, critics, academics, and board of advisors for reading my book with an open heart. Thank you to my editor, Leah Mall, for taking a chance on the story when so many editors wouldn't. Thank you to my teams at Harlequin and Hodder and Stoughton for your undying support. Thank you to my agent, Mary C. Moore, for always encouraging me to follow my weirdest dreams. And thank you to every reader who was scared to pick up a book about COVID, but tried it anyway. Your time, your openness, and your empathy is the greatest gift I could ever ask for.
Well, that's it, I guess we make a goodbye. Is that it?
Almost.
Okay.
First of all, thank you, Vincent and David, for doing a great job supporting us and hosting and getting these awards handed out to the richly deserving recipients. I do need to ask, I know everybody at this point is just waiting for the karaoke, but please, all of the nominees and winners and designated acceptors, please stay in the room for just a couple of minutes and just make your way up front so we can get some pictures. And please come back and join us next year. We'll be doing something remarkable, astounding, amazing, fantastic to mark the 20th anniversary of the awards. And in the meantime, for those of you who are actually getting up and leaving, the bar is that way. Thank you very much.
Thank you.